And hello and welcome back to Crosstalk. Today I have Pastor Mike Miller. Pastor, glad to have you today.
Thank you, Scott.
Today I'd just like to ask you a couple questions if I could. Why do you believe it's important to serve others? And when do you believe we should start doing that after becoming a new Christian or throughout your Christian walk?
I think Jesus said in John before the crucifixion, he told them, "A new commandment I leave you." He says that you love one another as I have loved you, and I think that is all about serving and all about being selfless. So I think serving starts when you give your life to Jesus, when you give up when you give your heart over to Him, because when you accept His forgiveness, somehow that unlocks something in your life. It does something to the inside of you where you're able to love others more than you love yourself. And that's why I think He was saying, a new commandment I leave you, that you love one another, as I have loved you, because he loved others more than He loved Himself.
That is so prevalent and so evident in the scriptures. It's all over Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. When Jesus washed his disciples' feet, and then, Master, well, you don't have to, and what I'm trying to get at is he humbled himself before his disciples. We need to learn to humble ourselves before each other. Is that kind of the basis of where we're going with that?
Yeah, and I think when you see Jesus in the scriptures, He's always serving. His heart is about serving. So that means if He's revealing the Father, then the Father is all about serving, and His children could be nothing less than to serve, than serving others.
Pick up your cross and follow me. You can't do that unless you're actually serving. You're actually following Him. Just to pick up a cross and carry it with you and say, "I'm a believer." Let your actions also let that be a part of you.
Yeah, I think the serving is the byproduct of the love you have for God. It goes hand in hand. It's tandem. It's tandem with that. You can't have one without the other. It just doesn't make much sense. When you look how Jesus lived and everything He did, it was always He loved the Father and he had a compassion for the people. It just goes hand in hand.
You're talking about a tandem, like when Jesus said that yoked with me, He's wanting to help bear that burden, He's going to walk with you, to be yoked together with you.
Mm-hmm.
And tandem meaning basically the same thing is we're yoked with Jesus, He's going to help you carry that burden. And one way to do that is to serve others. Get out there and just help someone. Stop worrying about Mike, don't worry about Scott. Brother, what can I do for you? That's kind of where I'm at when I think about serving. When I'm searching and reading the scriptures,
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about serving is taking your brother, taking your sister, and seeing what those needs are, and seeing what you can do to help them. If it's just a smile and encouraging word, would you agree to right around kind of sort of in the same area there?
Yes, I think we talked about this earlier about discipleship, about discipling people. And discipling starts. It's probably has different phases because as we mature, we grow, and then we want to pull other people close to us and walk with them and disciple them as we go. And within discipling, there's a wide range. There's teaching and sitting with people and teaching them, but there's also the part of walking with them like Jesus did. He did not only taught, but He walked with them. They got to witness how He handled situations and how He handled circumstances and how He served others. I think that's an important thing to do as we disciple one another, is that we actually do life with each other and we are able to see people serving and loving others. And that just continues to grow within the community of the church when they see leaders and others, serving and not wanting to be served.
I would like to bring back, if I could, a little bit about the conversation we had earlier about the discipleship. Just a couple minutes, if you don't mind. On the discipleship, I was asking you, as we're out and about in our communities, at the gas stations, at the restaurants, just in your everyday life, you're at work, you're in this situation or that, could you also be a disciple during that time of Christ? How you present yourself to others?
Yes, for sure. I think that's how God He puts us in different places. He puts everybody in a different place in the community, and I think those are discipling opportunities where we get to kind of rub elbows with the different people, and some are Christians, some are not Christians, and in that we get the opportunity to immerse them in Jesus. Just to cover them in Jesus because He's pouring out of our lives into their lives, and then in that they get an opportunity to respond. He said that you will be the salt of the earth.
Yes.
The earth doesn't have any flavor, and He says the Christian's life is going to have flavor. He describes that as salt. And I think that's part of the discipleship. It's not only discipling the people in the church, it's discipling the world so that they could see us and they know we're different because we have a love that's different than the world has.
Absolutely. That brings me to Mark 16:15, when Jesus says, in order to fulfill the Great Commission, go ye all into the world and preach the gospel to every living creature. I've taken that through my own personal walk, my own personal journey, is take that bit of scripture with you daily. And when you are in those public situations, when you are out there, don't talk about it, be about it. Don't just present yourself as a Christian. You're not representing Scott. You're not representing Mike. You are representing Christ. So that's we have to be mindful. And I know we don't. Paul tells us for all have come short the glory of God, and there are going to be days. Yes, we do come short. But what are your thoughts about discipleship like that in that type of situation?
I'm reminded what Stephen said, Stephen Manley. He said, he's the king and I'm the dumb. So I just try to follow what the king says. Yeah.
I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah. So he is the king, and he has a very large kingdom, and he needs to fill it up with as much dumb as he can get. And so so I just try to love people wherever I go, and and whether that be the gas station, the supermarket, wherever, and work, kids, family, in every situation and circumstance.
Kind of brings you back to the, I guess it's a children's song, or considered maybe, let this little light of mine shine.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're out there and we're talking to people, and like I said, some may be and some may not be Christians, but while we're out there, we can discipleship right there in that moment. And I do get it. I do understand that some people are not comfortable with public speaking. I mean, you run into some people here at our church and others that I'm kind of shy, and I'm kind of, hey, it's okay. The Lord will put a situation in your life and just answer the call.
I agree. Yep.
Well, everyone, I'm going to say goodnight to Pastor Mike. Pastor, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Come back and see us anytime. We're glad to have you.
All right. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.